Early one Sunday morning, my husband and I were just starting our day. We had my grandson over for the weekend, and we were getting ready to prepare his breakfast. Just another normal morning, or so we thought. From another room, we heard my mother's voice call out, "Hayden?" All three of us heard her voice. My husband and I both recognized the voice as my mother's. Nothing out of the ordinary, you say? But my mother had died when Hayden was less than a year old, and he was now 4. From time to time, something happens. We're going about our business, living life, eating breakfast, driving to work, or laying our heads down to sleep, and there comes a whisper, a sound, a soft breeze, or perhaps the lines of an obscure song whistling about in our thoughts. It's almost as if the sound is a whisper from another room. Many times we ignore it. We turn on the radio to drown out the tune in our heads. We quickly dismiss the familiar voice of our mothers, the sound of a baby crying, or the almost indiscernible caress of an invisible hand as it touches our hair. When my mother passed away, I drove with my daughter 16 hours from my house to my mother's, with the noise of my daughter's favorite country music group droning over and over to help pass the time. At some point, one of the songs caught my attention. Despite the fact that my mother had no interest or knowledge of country music, I am fairly sure she was telling me goodbye in the words of the song that I listened to over and over on the quiet nighttime drive to where her lifeless body lay, awaiting our arrival to say our goodbyes. About a month before her death, I had telepathically communicated with her and told her it was okay to move on. We would be okay without her. She had painfully held on for years past what was expected for those with her type of cancer. The song? I'm moving on. Interestingly enough, my dad did the same thing 9 years later. He had not passed yet, but I found myself making the drive once again to Florida, this time all alone. A song began to play that talked about seeing the light, and I knew his days were numbered. He passed less than 2 weeks later. Strangely enough, this particular song was a popular one at the time. I had heard the song many times on the radio, and had received no such message. It wasn't until this day, at this moment, that the song meant exactly what it meant. As a spirit communicator and shamanic energy healer, I have a room in my house affectionately named my healing room. It contains all of my tools of the trade: feathers, stones, candles, books, and divination cards. It is in this room where seekers sometimes come to talk to their loved ones on the other side, or other room, where I delve into the spirit world to gain wisdom and information from my benevolent helpers, and where I often go to talk to spirit. There are many worlds or rooms other than the one we live in. Life is not just waking up, going to work, coming home, and going to bed. All of the moments that happen in between the normal, everyday humdrum of existence are what make our hearts beat, the sun shine, and the moon glow. Many times we are too busy to pay attention. I think one of the main messages that our loved ones on the other side want to get across to us is to be happy. Sometimes we may feel guilty feeling joy when we are living our lives without the person we love. We think that we should be sad or not enjoy life completely without them. If they truly love us, they want us to know that their passing was not a sad thing. They are just in another room, watching, loving, and waiting until the day we join them. Do you hear the whispers?